Hey everybody, this is James.
And this is Denny from TeaDB, bringing you guys episode 9,094. 294,
Yeah,
actually.
did you know 9 million is above 9,000? I just realized that
Is it
like 5 seconds ago, yeah.
over?
If we ever get to 9,000 episodes, then I don't know what's
You're
going to
turning
happen.
Super Saiyan.
Yeah, we're going to be very old.
Your
Yeah.
tea-stained teeth that will turn Super Saiyan.
Welcome to TeaDB.
It's doable. Anyway, we're drinking some Mystery Ripe today. I've been enjoying this cake, and don't really know where it's from, but I like it, so bringing it on the show.
Yeah. Is it old tasting? The wrapping, the neifei at least looks pretty old school.
It's I'd say that it's definitely older tasting. I think it has more complexity and balance and it's not nearly as like harsh as some of the younger teas can be. Trying to make sure I don't get too much paper.
What happens when you brew 20-year-old paper? I don't know.
We'll find out. Anyway, I've just really enjoyed this, actually. It's been just a pleasant... it's not quite a daily drinker for me, because I'm trying to savor it, because I like it a lot. There we go, one more piece. But, perfect. But yeah, it's really, really tasty. I've already kind of spoiled the flavor notes for James, so... But I'm really interested in seeing what he has to say about it. And I think, in particular, this tea kind of breaks some of the categories that I'm used to.
Stevie,
That's a dog.
Stevie brought his dog to work today, and Stevie, you're fired.
Get
Shut
out
your
of here.
dog out. Yeah.
Stevie Jr. is really being a pain in the butt today.
Yeah.
Anyway, this stuff brews up very clean. So I think from a storage perspective, it's done quite well. And James, if you want to get in there.
Yeah.
It's got all those delicious traditional ripe smells.
It smells very ginseng-y to me. Sort of like a lot of traditional Chinese medicine.
Yeah, it has that aged smell a little bit.
I would have guessed that this would be brewing up darker. We'll see. Maybe we're just getting a particularly compressed bit, but that looked a little bit lighter than I would have guessed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this tea ends up being quite well balanced overall. And unfortunately, it will not grant you ESP to silence the dogs that are in your live studio.
But this will.
So, what do you think? Darker? Certainly.
A little bit darker, yeah. Yeah.
Really just beautiful golden orange, or red. And actually, that guy won the pot, your clay pot here is quite large, so I'll have
it is quite large.
2 big cups here. And for steeping, I'm going to let this just cool off for just a second. I'm going to get in here, though, and give it a smell. See what I think.
Whenever you're using a pot and you're used to gaiwan, there's always the added risk of like steaming your nose hairs.
You'll notice the technique.
Yeah.
It's pretty Pavlovianly negatively conditioned out of me. Oh my gosh.
I would be not surprised if many of you can directly relate to that.
Yeah.
It's a pretty normal thing to
100%.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Cheers.
Cheers.
I'm really tasting the age on this one a lot. Actually, it's still light. It has a little bit of that medicinalness to it.
Yeah. This actually reminds me a little bit of that ripe brick that we had a long time ago that Scott did, the older 7581. It has sort of like this like lightly kind of fruity red date profile to it. It's not like very dank, so it's very clean, I agree.
I think this has a really nice smokiness to it that's subtle, but I think will grow. I think it's really like pleasant, sweet, smoky aftertaste. And actually, I was mentioning this tea to someone on Reddit. Shout out to Ian, who hit us up on Reddit. His favorite tea to drink in fall is smoky oolong teas. So, thanks for sending me a message on Reddit, man.
Yeah.
And
I don't even know what Denny's Reddit username is, so I don't know who he is on Reddit.
You can find
Denny. He's probably the guy that's been trolling me and sending me like messages like, "I know where you live." Actually, there's no one like that.
I mostly do Reddit. I'm mostly an ultralight gear Reddit nerd, so you'll find me on ultralight and MYOG.
Shout outs to that community, which I'm definitely not a part of. So check. But if you are into that stuff, you should give a shout out down below too.
Yeah. If you like to go and drink tea out in the woods, and actually, I think I'll have to do a couple more of those in between episodes. Anyway, back to this tea. How big is this guy one? I have no idea how much tea I use. It looks like 130 milliliters.
Yeah, you're about right. It's 140, 145
Okay.
milliliters, I think is what it was.
Quite large.
Yeah, so it's one of my bigger pods. I use it for ripe. So it pours a little bit slower, which I think for ripe is fine.
Yeah. And I actually used... I didn't fill it
color.
up quite as much as I did last time.
Yeah.
And yeah, we're going to get a better, deeper taste here. Yeah. I think one of the things that I'm noticing the most about this tea is the residual aftertaste. It's still quite strong, actually. It's not like a full body ripe puer that's just sort of like, putty on the concrete, but it's still really sweet and flavorful. Really nice.
It's very tasty. It makes me curious what the hell this tea was.
I know, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of fun, though. It doesn't, again, as much as the tea is, you learn a lot about the tea from the label and all that jazz, of course. And that matters, certainly, to know what you're drinking, which would have been useful.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, tea is tea, and it's tea leaves in water, and we're enjoying it. So, mystery tea and steep number 2. What do you think of the liqueur now?
It looks good. It looks more of what I'd expect. I think we are just having a pretty compressed bit of it right there. So I think it's opened up really nicely.
Cheers.
Cheers.
I like the sweetness in it. It's subtle. It's not too fruity. I feel like it's sort of like notes of fruit as opposed to like cherries.
There's almost like some creamy vanilla aspects to it too that really add to the complexity. It's interesting because like it has that smoky element still a little bit in the background, and then it brings in sort of these other notes.
Yeah. Totally tastes like a classical red puer, but has a little bit of a smokiness to it that I find kind of unique. Something that's not as common in this sort of a tea, and it's quite nice. What a viscous it is. It's very cozy and warming. It's kind of a perfect day for it, frankly.
Right. Yeah, we're drinking this in late November. You guys are probably watching this in late December, so.
And yeah, it is quite creamy.
Yeah, really tasty. Probably can take pretty. You could do the mom forget it test, and this tea would probably still turn out pretty well.
Totally. I'm gonna throw on some boiling water again on this guy and just see how it does. I suspect this might be a little bit too early, to do so. It's just the tea burps, but we'll see. It's going to be a little bit more potent. I don't think it's going to be bitter, but we'll try to see. We'll try to get there. So
yeah, the smokiness is unique because it's very different from sort of like a smoky young raw. It's like a very balanced smokiness into it that I think really does enhance the overall profile. Getting the poo burps too.
It's sort of subtle, and it's not even like an Assam or something. It has a lot less of that smoky earthiness and just has a hint of smoke. It's almost like it was just smoked or thrown in a barbecue pit or something like that.
Or maybe the guy that was pressing these leaves with smoking a cigar. You never know. So would this pass the mom test?
I don't know, man.
I almost want to say that it would do okay.
It would do okay, I think.
Yeah, as far as puer goes.
Yeah, exactly. It's not as off-putting, and I think it's really well balanced. I think there's sweetness to be found in it, I probably not everyone is going to love this tea. It's not a just kind of a no matter what, if you've never had a good tea before, you're going to love it kind of a tea.
It's not oolong. It's not gonna
Exactly.
it's not gonna please everyone.
Right.
It's still very unique. You might have people, if they're not into tea, being like, "What is this?"
Right.
But overall, there's no obvious thing I can find to this that would put people off.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's sweet, it's well balanced, it's creamy. It's just unique kind of earthier flavors than some might be used to. I really love the viscosity. It's I think a medium viscosity, but it just texture is really pleasant. It's kind of silky.
Yeah, totally agree.
It's not too oily, but still really lasting.
So very engaging tea.
Yeah, really pleasant. And leaf quality looks pretty good. Kind of hard to see in here, but pretty homogeneous, quite dark. Still.
Yeah.
It definitely has more of an aged smell on the nose, I think, than in the cup. Which, honestly, I just think is kind of a testament to it being stored well. There's a little bit more of that medicine shop vibe, I think, that doesn't quite show up. Some of that medicine shop taste can almost be not quite sour, but, just a little bit, like, puckering and tart. And I'm not getting that as much as here. And you hit this with boiling water. Any bitterness at all?
No.
Yeah.
Not at all.
Yeah.
I really like the sort of medicine shop herbal sweet to it. For me, I'm personally a fan of the sort of Chinese medicine shop like taste and stuff you get. For others, it might be a little bit more of an acquired taste.
We're gonna have another steeping here, and I hope to session this a little bit later as well. But I don't really know where people can get this. Sorry.
Yeah, it does
Just
remind me of that 97 brick that Yunnan Sourcing used to have. And I don't know if it's the same tea or not, but...
it could well be, frankly.
So I'm like looking at this packaging, trying to figure out if something Scott would have used to sell. But the packaging's so generic that...
We'll show what I do have of the packaging on the video, so you folks will be able to see at least something of what it looks like. But
and like it comes in like this very, very generic Zhongcha neifei. And this is just how lots of older teas were packaged, so it's not too helpful, other than maybe ruling out that it might be something newer.
beautiful.
Yeah, really nice liqueur, very clear. Too.
Yeah.
Great clarity.
Especially for how old this does taste.
Right.
So, we'll finish with this steeping.
This could be a good in-between-episode camping tea. I could see that for sure.
Definitely true.
Maybe a little too complex, but very tasty and warming.
Yeah, I wonder because grandpa style is sort of how I do those, so
Okay.
it's kind of it's a fine balance. All right, here we go. Texture is pleasant. This is going to last for quite a bit of time. I've steeped these out about 12 times or so, and I'll just leave them overnight and then just drink that last
Nice.
12-hour infusion. Why not?
Yeah,
It's good.
it is good.
It just has such a silky, smooth texture. And, I think the thing about this tea is it's not mind-bending. It's just great. And I think that's what most of the teas that we end up bringing on the show end up being like. Some of them are certainly, we're just like, blah, I don't know what the heck's going on. It's awesome.
Yeah.
But this one is just sweet. It's delicious. It has all of the elements that you want. It's really well balanced. It feels like it's got some good age on it.
Yep, you don't have to be a connoisseur to appreciate this tea.
Exactly.
I think its qualities are pretty front and center. Yeah, it's just a really tasty tea.
Balanced, delicious. Easy.
Yeah.
Easy does it. If you folks want to learn more about tea, check us out on the internet. I think you're on it right now.
Maybe.
So,
Unless
maybe.
you downloaded this episode and are watching it from the Himalayan mountains.
Ooh.
With
Very
your
good.
ultralight gear. Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe
Unlikely.
you're doing that.
So shout outs to you if that's you. I'd say leave a comment,
one
but
other
if
tea
you
nerd.
don't have internet, you can't. So
True.
Yeah.
Very true. It was actually a shout out to this dude named Ultralight Dandy. He's this Italian dude who was coincidentally filming in the Nepalese mountains recently in the Himalayas. Anyway, Follow the people that you want to follow if you like them. That's cool. Follow us if you want to. Like the video if you want to. Hit the bell thing. That does stuff. I think that is relevant.
Yeah.
Maybe favorite this video. Does that make us cooler on the internet?
Do all the things that make us cool on the internet, guys.
Mostly-
Tweet about us.
Yeah. Maybe don't do that. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
But,
we don't like Twitter, but Instagram away.
Instagram,
Facebook away.
TeaDB@gmail.com to send us your favorite things. Get in touch. Subscribe. We'll see you guys next time.
Cheers.